And this is,
It was crucial. Go back. I'm going to record you. Start
I'm
from the
telling
beginning.
you that as imperial Moors, that they understand the importance of donning the garb. You see, the garb demonstrates that you are fully letting the world know that America is no longer free. You are back in charge, and this land is your land. The garb lets them know this. That's why every time people see me, they say, "What religion are you?" And I tell them, "I'm not any religion. I am all of that. I am the dirt, the soil, the tree, and everything that you see, smell, breathe, and feel in this area here in North and South America." And they say, "Oh." I say, "I am the Moor." They say, "Oh, what's that?" And then I go down to breaking down the heritage to them. But you see, when you don the garb, it raises a certain spiritual frequency vibration around you. So when people look at you, now they're going to be looking at the heritage. You don't have to say, then most people will start asking you what religion you are as soon as you put it on. Another point I want to make is this. There are a lot of brothers not wearing their fezzes. This is what I want to let you know as an Imperial Moor. Demonstrate, don the garb. There's a lot of brothers not wearing their fez, and they walk up to me when I move to a new area, and they'll start looking sideways. That's how I'm reading. They don't know I'm reading. They're looking sideways. You know where there's a temple around here? Oh my God. I wouldn't even want to tell them, you're looking at one, fool. But I don't say it. I'm just looking, I'm like, and I know where the temple is. I said, it's around the corner there. They want to know, why am I wearing a fez, but I'm not going to the temple? As if I really need to be going to the temple. I'm going to start walking around with a brick. As soon as one of them asks me that, here you go. Because you need brick and mortar to really understand who you are. As if I need that. They don't understand the essence of a Moor is the essence of who you are on this soil right here. You blend in with the trees. Everything is now yours. And you must now take back the law. You see who you are, walking, breathing, living, exercising thought and consciousness. It is all the law. So now you as the Moor now, wherever you go, you are the law. But they're not going to honor this if you're not wearing the garb. If you walk around football shirts on, I don't knock that because, I don't wear that. But if you're walking around with that on, they just see you as the regular Tom. They're not getting no vibration. They don't even notice you. And they still will stand next to you and say, America's a free country. No, it's not free. It's yours now. And now it's time for us to start taking it back. But it begins with the expression of self. Let them know who you are. You don't even have to open my mouth. When I'm walking around people, they automatically know I'm the law. I don't even have to say anything. I don't have to say anything. Even the cops, they look down when they get around me. That's how much power I radiate around them, the authority. I don't have to say a word. I don't have to say a word. The garb tells them everything they need to know. Who am I? I am America. I am Amorica. You're standing on my soil. All this is mine. Who are you? So that's the point I want to make, that it's important to don the garb. So if you can even just get a fez, don't have to go out and buy a whole bunch of, it's going to come to you. The minute you put the fez on or the turban on, you're going to notice a change. It's going to you're going to feel a certain vibrational frequency just shoot down through your body the minute you put that fez on or that turban on and walk out that door. Everything changes, I'm telling you. You'll see. Okay, that's my part right there. Empress, you have the floor again.
Ashe, thank you so much. Professor L, you have displayed once again your passion for what we are doing and who we are. So, are there any other questions, comments, or concerns regarding the reclamation, regarding any issues that one may be facing? Any questions about how to go about the study, video, and tests. These things have to be done. It's imperative before we can move forward with bringing you into the nation, because you have to know what you're standing on. I don't want to hear anybody get in a situation and they don't know what to say. They don't know who I am, what I have brought to this movement, what the Most High has given me to give to you. You need to know this. This is very important, because the so-called powers that be on our land right now prey on that. They prey on you not knowing. They prey on fear. Okay? So we have to get you halfway past the battle before you go out into the battlefield. That's my position, to do that. So you have to take the precautions, study the information that I gave you with your reclamation. The instructions is giving you very detailed information and instructions on what to say, how to present yourself. You are the executive of your estate. You're not a United States citizen. You're not a corporate ward of the state. Certain small things that's easy to remember until you really get up to speed. But those things you need to know. Ashe?
Ashe.
Ashe.
I would like to add an extra, also, call on the ancestors, because they are a very big part of this transition. So
Yes.
if you're not necessarily adept at the sciences, just trust me when I'm telling you, the ancestors bring a certain frequency vibration around you, even if you're not understanding, if you're not one who studied and you don't know the secrets to frequency vibration, is deceptive power. If you don't understand those type of principles, understand this, that when you call on the ancestors, you don't necessarily have to see the spirited energy that now starts to surround you. And trust me, it has an effect on the atoms. This is what energy does. Energy has an effect on atoms. Words have an effect on atoms. You have to understand, when you quote the words from the reclamation, especially when you're hitting, you see, a lot of people, it's not about just reading, it's the power of the words from the reclamation that when you hitting them with that, especially the Lord, and you're looking them right in their eyes, this is what they feel, because that's what they're looking to see. They're looking to see if it's coming through you. They're looking to see if you are the Lord and you're speaking with that authority. So, but my point is, call on the ancestors, because what the ancestors do, and you can't see the spirit form that's around you. So, but you will feel the change. You will feel the shift. And also, when you call on the ancestors, you're going to feel a shift in the energy of the oppressor. That's going to be the first thing you feel, is when you call on the ancestors, you're going to see an immediate change in their attitude. I'm telling you right now, you need to try it if it happens. Just remain calm. As soon as they put that light on you, call on the ancestors, call on the ancestors, call on the ancestors. Trust me, when the ancestors, you'll have more ancestors around that officer and out there than you can possibly believe. You got to understand how spirited energy works.
Case in point, all of the in situations that I've been put in, there's no doubt about it, and I'm an advocate for ancestral magic. There's some basic, I don't want to overwhelm y'all, but there is some basic small things you can do to invoke them for protection. As Professor L just said, recently at the party we just had, they tried to swarm in on us. They even put me in the back of a squad car. And I'm laughing on the inside the whole time. Like, let's see how long you hold this hot potato. So the police officer, the whole time, before they even, they harassed my son and tried to crash the party, follow him from way yonder to our house. trying to crash the party. The one thing they don't want is for us to come together. That is their biggest fear. So they call themselves crashing the party. I go outside and I ask everybody for their card. They get an attitude. They snatch me, put me in the back of the car. And the whole time, I already been invoking the ancestors. So the next thing I know, the guy gets out, and I cussed him out too, and I shouldn't have. But I said, "Yo, Asian ass, you up here working for interest." I said, "You a part of this? Do you know what's going on? What's really going on?" He was like, "No, I'm just here, ma'am. Just get in the car. Just get in the car. You're going to jail. You're going to jail." Like that. So I get in the back of the car. He asked me what was my name. One of the officers came up to the car and told him, "Oh, hi, Elbay. Oh, I know who you are. I remember you." He looked at him like, "You know who that is, right?" So the guy gets back in the car. He started asking me my name, and I told him. He said, "What is your birth certificate name?" I told him my birth certificate name. Whatever he saw on that computer, after I gave him my birth certificate name, he got spooked and he jumped out the car and started getting confused. Amatai can tell you, he was looking back and forth. He was pacing back and forth. He ain't know what to do. So then he comes over to the car. Now, he's a totally different person. You would think this was a different officer who had just roughed me up, harassed me, threw me in the car, and told me I was going to jail. He even put his hands on me. Everything he did, I couldn't feel it. That's how powerful the ancestors are. He took his 2 fingers and jabbed me. I guess this is their tactic to subdue somebody because I wouldn't shut up. You in my yard. You on private property. Give me your card. He tried to shut me up, and it wouldn't work. So he got mad and arrested me. And so, I mean, I didn't feel it. But he literally jabbed me like this, a man, a dude, like with muscles, like this, trying to stop me from talking. And I felt it, but I didn't feel it. It didn't do nothing to me. I guess the normal person would have just, probably subdued them to the point where they fell back or did something or stopped talking. But that, when you got the ancestors around you, it's a whole nother ballgame. So he asked me my name on the birth certificate. Whatever he saw, I don't know what he saw. I got to find out what they done put in there. But it's probably telling them I'm one of the largest creditors in America. I don't know what it said, but he was spooked. And so he come around to the car, my door. Ma'am, you've been real nice. So I'm gonna give you a break. I'm going to let you out. Da, 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 da. I'm just looking at him. I'm saying, I know. And just, that was that. But the whole point about it is I stay invoking the ancestors. Ogun is in the yard. My Baba from Africa, my godfather, who's a Baba Lawo, was here. They put their hands on him. Don't you know we told him up? It was so quiet after that. It's been quiet ever since. We ain't seen the cop car in sight nowhere. You hear me? Nowhere. So the ancestors will show up in ways. I mean, they show me all the time because I have tested the waters plenty of times. If I feel like I'll ask them to show me, and they show me. Next thing you know, they running out of the driveway, or they running from, out of the gas station or wherever it is. So to me, it's normal now, but yeah, you can definitely call on them to clear your path. Now, if it's something that they allow to happen, it's for a reason. But for the most part, they will come forward and stop whatever it is you ask them. They will do whatever you ask them to do. They will do whatever you invoke them to do. That's their job. And that's what they love to do. But if we don't know how to ask them, if we don't know how to have relationship with them, they can't come, they won't come. And some of them are even stubborn, and if you don't deal with them on a regular basis, they're gonna be like, hey, what you calling me now for? You don't never call me. You don't never interact with me. So that's why it's important to have a relationship with them. Some kind of songs or altar or something you're doing to acknowledge them. But yeah, so
I like to
there's
share.
no way.
Can I
Oh,
share?
there's Emma.
No,
Empress.
I've been there, Empress. I just was I just my background was bad for a second, but I definitely want to touch on before we go too far on that experience as well when we was down there for the ball. But I think Professor was about to say something, so I wait on the Noble.
Now I want to hear your experience. I want to hear your experience.
So yeah, first off, it was, my whole journey there was spiritual. Ohio, excuse my French, they've been tearing my ass up when I traveled through Ohio prior to me joining the nation and getting my spiritual more balanced. So them people got a lot of energy from me financially, especially. So just traveling the whole way, it was spiritual. I contact Empress, and I didn't think I was gonna be able to go because financially I had a lot of finance tied up, and it just wasn't good timing. But what I did, like Empress said, I put the ancestors to work. I just flat out told them I deserve to be there, I want to be there, and I feel I need to be there. Make a long story short, a lot of finance had freed up for me. So I jumped on the road that same day the finance freed up. My little brother, he a music artist. He had a show. It was pretty big for the city. And I told him, yo, I can't even make your show, man. The ancestors is telling me I gotta go right now while my route is clear. So he said, bro, you always have strong intuitions. You always been different. Leave. I'll be all right. I got plenty more shows. But you go. They told you go. So I made it safely after I reached out to Empress Holder, bless the vehicle. Empress guide my journey.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, so many cops was getting behind me and falling off. It wasn't normal, but the whole time I wasn't nervous either. Because I was like, at that time, it's going to be what it's going to be. This ain't nothing new. So I made it there. But the night of the ball, I was at the mall a half an hour before the incident took place. And the whole time I'm at the mall, all I could hear is public officials about to try to intervene. So I'm thinking like, damn, I'm about to get pulled over before I get back there or whatever. So I got back to the house, and Empress yelled down, Amatai, go out there and basically do what you can. So I opened the door. I'm telling you, I felt if I didn't open the door, they were going, some shots were about to go off or something. And when I opened the door, I felt bullets on me. Then that's when Empress said, Amatai, come back in for a second. Call the provost marshal. And I attempted that. They played games, did whatever they did. I got a chance to talk to the supervisor, and he's actually on the scene acting like he's not on the scene. So I'm telling them the status, whatever I can, try to communicate, decent rapport. So I come back outside, their whole energy is different. It was weird. It was like kill mode, then it was like, I don't think this is our best interest, and when Empress said,
I was working. I was upstairs working the whole time.
Oh, I know you was.
And my aunt and one of my sisters was here. They was also.
So when the Empress say you gotta sometimes eat humiliation, a piece of humble pie, whatever people want to call it, it was a piece of humiliation and a pride thing for me when it took place, because at the end of the day, you touching my Empress. Whether she's right or wrong, you touching my Empress. And I feel like we got to get in a position where that ain't going to take place, right or wrong. We go home and we talk it out as a family, but the oppressor shouldn't be able to put their hands on ours. So pridefully, my pride was fucked with, because I know a lot of us, we getting acquainted with each other, but I'm protective over my family. And it's like, I go to this, they lose a draw, I go. I don't care what the consequence. But I could tell the ancestors was telling me, no, you keep your hot ass head on the porch. where this protection is, and you just administrate and record things. You get all the proof you can get, you know? Because a part of me was just like, when they grabbed her, I'm in kill mode. I'm like, oh, man, it's about to be some shit. You know what I'm saying? But the ancestors like, nah, nigga, you can't move nowhere. You about to sit right here, and you about to analyze everything that's taking place. So through that, you know, they end up letting Empress know, you know. They broke the window of her son's car, snatched them out. And it, like I said, it could have been worse for both parties. And I say worse for them because I could see us in the near future really our muscle where it need to be. So we could fund that accordingly, you know? And then I also had visions like all these properties, all these houses, we should be in them, period.
Right.
She shouldn't have no outside neighbors around her.
Exactly. And it's coming to that.
Yeah. And, you know, so again, it made me think like, it gave me motivation, like, you know, you got to get on your grind even harder because you see what you got to bring to the table and you got to put this energy out here for more people to feel the same way so we can get this done. So, Baba, you know, Baba, he got out. That's my guy too. I love meeting Baba. So, Baba, after they let him out the car, Baba is talking to him. So I try to tell Baba, hey Baba, man, come up here, man. Stop talking to them, please, man. Like fuck them. Come. And then the ancestor told me again, like, yo, shut up, dude. Like, he's personal when he's talking to them. Like, do you not see it, idiot? Like, so I'm like, okay, my ancestors, they blunt and gangsters. So that's why I'm hearing it in my head. So I'm like, okay, damn, Baba is tearing their ass up spiritually. I just can't see it. Like you said, Professor.
Yeah, they let him go. They was like, you okay? Oh, did we hurt you? And they was just totally different people. It was like crazy.
Yeah, it was real crazy. And I had a chance, even though it was a good probably half an hour of bullshit, I had a chance to analyze everything from best case scenario to worst. And I knew my role, no matter what, if it was worst scenario or best, I knew my role and what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I didn't even know they were putting curses in Emperor's jar. I didn't even know they were trying to put hexes. So I got a chance to identify when they were doing their sorcery now too. I knew what to look for. Like, damn, that is what's taking place in the video. He did do that. But the whole time, no officer could come to me and look me in my face and talk to me. None of them. Like when they came, they held their head low as if I know I'm disobeying master. I know I'm disobeying my God, but I'm committed to a different force, but I'm submitting at the same time. So yeah, make a long story short, it was some special stuff that took place, even though it was some so-called bullshit. It was some very spiritual and special stuff that took place that night. I yield the floor. I say.
Ashe. So yeah, they do a lot of different things. They send out a lot of different smoke screens, and I've been experiencing this for years. Just to get close to you to try to do their sorcery. So yeah, the officer, I don't think this was the so-called supervisor. He comes in the yard, stands in front of my tree after they try to come. See, all of this was to throw us off balance. So they thought. So, but I had already sent it out. I was sending it out when my son had me on the phone. Mom, they following me. I said, come home. Don't stop for them. Don't do nothing. Come home. If anything was going to happen, it was going to happen where I could see it. So he did right. He came home. He parked in the driveway. Little did I know when I looked outside, I was going to see a whole caravan, 20 of them. I said, no, they didn't. So anyway, this dude gets in front of my tree, in front of my house. He does his whatever he's doing in front of the like this. And he's talking and he's doing whatever. And later on, my aunt in the house, and she looked and she got away from the window because she said she saw what he was doing. She ain't know what he was doing, but he was doing something and it made her feel uncomfortable. And she got away from the window because they was in the window chanting, doing their stuff too. But I seen him from inside the cop car, and I was sending him, and I was tearing him up. Ogun was already in the yard. I already got protection all around my house. I already know I done invoked the army around us. In a minute, all of this gonna dissipate. I'm already knowing that. It only take them about 15 minutes. And that's about what it took. It seemed longer because you're going through it. But it took about 15 minutes and they dispersed. They was getting the hell out of there. Somebody called them on the phone. And they was like, pew. Whatever they heard on that phone, they was getting the hell out of there. I told bro, get every last one of them cars and the numbers of the cars on video. And they start bagging up, going the other way. They didn't want us to record. It was crazy. I said, yeah. So it's all a work in progress. Soon we won't have to deal with these type of situations. But like I said, when you a trailblazer, you at the forefront of something, it's never easy. And if you're not built for this, I suggest you take a back seat, because you just got to be built for it. You got to be born for this. You got to know that you know that you know. And if you easy and weak to back down, they will swallow you. This is how predators are. This is how bullies are. It's the same type of energy. If you show any type of weakness, they will consume you just like that. Just pretend like you sell wolf tickets. That keep, and I mean, it's a lot of brothers out there that do that. They sell wolf tickets for years and don't nobody know they weak, because they be in the hood talking all of this and all of that until it really comes down to some real work and some real business. Then you know who they are. But they get away with that for a long time because they portray an image. You got to fake it till you make it. You can't let these people see no fear. Even if you're afraid, you can't let them see it, But it's definitely a lifestyle that I have to live by, and that's to invoke the ancestors first. Ashe. Saru, you wanted to say something?
No, I just said facts.
Mm-hmm.
Empress.
Yeah.
I want to tell a story about an encounter that I had that I called the answer.
Okay.
One time I was I had moved to like a neighbor. Just like when I first moved here to Virginia. I've got this habit of, like, I'll walk to the store, like, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. The time is really of no essence to me. So one night I'm walking to the store like about 1:35. So one night I'm walking to the store about 1:35. I'm coming from the store, and I notice these two young men, coming. Teenage boys, look like maybe 17, 18, 19, coming toward me, but they're on the other side of the street. Once you see one cross over, so coming from Brooklyn, living in, born in Bed-Stuy, I already know what I'm looking at. Oh, look at these two guys. So the one crossing the street, he's coming down now in front of me, and the other one's walking past down behind me. Right? So the one that's walking toward me, right? Me knowing the sciences, I invoke the presence of the ancestors, and I said, I want to see, I'm going to teach this young man. So he walks up on me, he got his hand up on his shirt, and as soon as he walks up on me, I said, peace, young God. The minute I said, peace, young God, his hand got stuck on the gun in his pants and he can't get it out. You see, that one word, peace, that one word, peace, changes the entire atomic structure. You got to understand the power of the word. So I said, peace, young God. And remember, I can't tell you to remember, but I used to counsel teenagers. So I kind of understand their structure. So I know when I saw the robbery going to take me, I was like, they think they're going to rob me? Especially when you know the ancestors and the gods. So I just continued to walk straight up on him. And as soon as he walked up on me, I said, peace, young God. I looked him right in his eyes and said, peace, young God. So the hand got stuck in there. He's like, peace, sir. And he just walked around me. And then when he walked past me, I turned around. I paused kind of, and looked and turned around. And the guy that was behind him is looking at him saying, yo, why you ain't get him? And he's telling the guy, come on. So everything, you have to understand, everything is energy. And there's a phrase that I want to share with you that, You might want to research this phrase. It goes like this. He who knows the secret to frequency vibration holds the scepter of power.
I'll
You know,
say.
anything that me and the Empress is talking about when it comes to like understanding the sciences and how to manipulate the elements, you know, the earth, the wind, the fire, and the water. If you want to understand how to manipulate the 4 elements, research that phrase. He who knows the secret to frequency vibration holds the scepter of power. Everything is in the words, the heart, mind, and how you work with the God.
Energy. Everything is energy.
Everything is energy.
Yeah.
And the forces that walk upon white guys walk upon you, that's energy. They are low dense energy. And they're programmed
Low level energy.
Yes,
That's
they are.
why
That's
why
that you
I
have.
couldn't feel nothing. I couldn't feel nothing they was doing. Because for one, I always invoke the ancestors. They're gonna shield you no matter what. It can actually take place physically because remember, they are not physical beings. They are doing their powers in you know, metaphysical terms.
Yeah, they're using the sciences too.
You know, so even if something physically happens to you, it can happen, but have no effect. That's the thing. So energy is definitely everything. It ain't no other way around it. And I do know that they came there, they were ordered there to do some damage. They was ordered there to do some damage, but they couldn't do it. Just like the officer reached for, bro, did you see the officer reach for his gun on me? He couldn't pull it out.
Nope. On their triggers too. A lot of them. You know? And I just told them, man, ain't nobody no threat. Y'all a threat to yourself. Can y'all holster y'all weapons? Like seriously, holster y'all weapons. And I start seeing like the energy just swarm around. But it's like
that's because you invoked the power.
Yes.
You had to invoke the power over them.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm new to a lot of this, but I done went through a lot real fast. So even recently, I had an incident with bounty hunters. I got a case in Michigan. The case is closed. They closed it a couple months ago, but they in their feelings because even going in here and arguing with the peons, I could kick their ass verbally. As far as I know, but further studying more, I'm learning. I'm still giving them subject jurisdiction. I mean, not subject, but I'm still giving them implied jurisdiction by going into their backyard. So I guess they trying to say I contracted with them still.
Fix your mic.
Okay, can you hear me better now, Empress?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess they saying I contracted with them still. So they trying to get me to go to a psychic evaluation. But the judge let me go. I'm not about to go and let no stranger talk to me. Like, I'm a grown fucking man with 11 kids. Ain't nobody going to talk to me. Like, so the bounty hunters, they set me up, but they didn't. The ancestors showed me every I pulled up to this property. You know, I do construction work, so I remodel properties. You know, so they called me and hit me with something that's common. Hey, I met you out here. I got your business card. I wonder if you could come look at this property. So before I got there, 5 minutes before I got there, the ancestors showed me everything to the point where I should have pulled off. I shouldn't even went in. So I get there and everything already had played out in my head, but the ancestors basically were telling me now that I took a week to sit back and analyze everything, they was telling me is, get this over with. We got it. And it's the same thing Empress told me from the jump. They a private company. So, you know, you negotiate something with them. And I did. I told them I'll pay for it, but can you fill out this W-9? Basically, and the owner know, like, oh, he trying to get my EIN so he could get his money back or make me pay for this. You know, and I told him, hey, the case is closed. You shouldn't be pursuing me any longer. So I go in the house. Man, it's about 10 of these motherfuckers in there. So, I mean, they aggressive as fuck. They got some nice guns, too. I wish I could have took them from their ass. But, so I go in there, and this was, I mean, when you invoke, so I already said my prayers that day. So I already invoked them. but I invoked them before I went in the house. Whatever goes on, don't take me away from my babies and my nation state and my purpose before I feel it.
Ashe,
So
Ashe.
I go in there. I mean, they rush me aggressive. One is like a couple of them like 6'6", big ass, sloppy 3. Look, I just immediately I was comfortable though, cause I done been in a bunch of sticky shit, but I ain't never been in it with my ancestors. So I'm like, man, I ain't about to fight y'all. I understand y'all got a job to do. You know, do whatever y'all comfortable, but it ain't no need to hurt me, cause I ain't in no position to hurt y'all. Y'all got the ups, but how can we resolve this? You gotta take it up with the courts. I'm like, man, nah, I ain't going to jail. I'm telling y'all right now, y'all ain't about to go get me with these fucking crooks. I don't trust them. Fuck what y'all talking about. What's the fee? So they're like, you gotta come out of $8 grand. So I had 56 on me at the time. So I'm like, all right, bet. I called a few good people that's loyal to me. Hey man, I need to hold a band. I need to hold this woo woo woo. The mother of my kids, she go get the money. She bring it back. They let me go. But the whole time, I don't know what the hell I'm saying to them, but I'm saying some shit to them. You know, all I can remember is goon goon. I remember that. And I was saying, so they let me go though, and they was like, hey, your debt with us is fulfilled. I just didn't want to have this money come out of my pocket. So I said, I thought about it. I said, so it still ain't fair for me. But then I'm like, why don't I get them mad? It's just a minor bump in the road. I got the personnel around me to help me get the money back. You know, he didn't want no money took from his family. He could have been a dick and arrested me. He didn't. You know, ancestors was like, yo, you own 2 businesses in town. These crackers can run in and embarrass, try to dirty your name and make people uncomfortable to do business with you. You know,
Yep.
spiritual warfare with your family. So everybody will try to tell every house you're a part of where you're at. So they're like, yo, just you did the right thing. Get that out the way. You know, you just lost a little finance, and that's a little time and energy. You get that back. So I guess all I'm trying to say is you're going to be tested. You're going to go through some shit, but don't fold and trust your ancestors, you know, because everybody around me, all I'm hearing is these bounty hunters is beating people ass. They fucking them up bad, at least to me, when they feel you want to run. And just say your prayers. Definitely say your prayers and honor your ancestors, you know, and do it your way. Don't do it nobody else's way. Do it your way. You know, if you got a tongue, politic with them the way you grew up. If you got a peaceful tongue, politic with them. You know what I'm saying? But just don't be disrespectful, because they could do some shit to you they want to at the end of the day. So I say, I yield the floor.
Ashe, thank you, Amatai. Professor L, you was about to say something?
Yeah, that's when he was talking about oh my goodness, it was so strong when he said it too. Oh yeah, when the officers they couldn't look him in the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You see, that's very, very crucial to understand what's happening there. Remember, the ancestors are operating through you.
Mm-hmm.
So when you gaze at them, you are looking at them with the power of the ancestors. And the ancestors are gazing upon the core of who they are. So remember, they cannot even look at you, especially when you call the ancestors, because briefly, scientifically, everything on the outside is really going on the inside. So they're really looking at, when you're looking at them, they feel the eyes direct energy. Let me just put it briefly like that. Your eyes have the power to direct energy. So when you're looking at them, this is also having an effect on them. So that's why they cannot look at you. They can't look at you. They already know who you are. What they're not used to is your authority that you're presenting. They're not used to it. So that's what they're not used to that.
So it's like looking at the ray of the sun directly.
It's too powerful. That's just like when I wear my afro up. If you ever go and wear your natural hair and it's just all over the place, and you are a power source. You come in the room and they just have to look down. It's like, that's why they had us tame ourselves, because our energy is too powerful for them to withstand. They just can't. It's just something about it that they cannot handle.
feeding off what the Empress just said, now do people understand why you have white teachers in front of all these Moorish children? The whole process is to turn down the energy. They've been dumbing us down for years because once they reduce your energy, you are much more able to be controlled.
Yeah. But you know, they walked into a hornet's nest. I got so much stuff in my yard and in my front bushes, in my front of my house, buried, everything.
Empress, I have a question. I've been wanting to ask you, what was the time frame exactly from the time
9 o'clock.
No, I mean from the time that the people got there, started gathering at your house, and then it was 9 o'clock. That means that y'all was just getting into it and everything, and they just keep
ritual. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. They did that strategically. Yes, blocked the whole street off.
Notice
so if anybody was trying to get there between 9 and 9:15 or however long they was there, they couldn't even get down the street. They was passing the house. People was calling me, telling me they.
I say, Empress, and all I kept hearing in my head was, there's definitely more nobles who was credible to be there, but at the same time, everybody was there who was meant to be there for that reason.
Yeah,
you know, because I just pulled up before all that took down. Like the timing was crazy. I dang near should have missed it. You know, I'm in a new city I ain't familiar with, and I'm getting straight there without any interruption or the GPS is going crazy. And my GPS is acting funny too, you know. But Professor L, to touch on what you said, when you said energy, when they want to turn down our energy, I'm a part of one of the biggest sports pools in Michigan right now. And when I say my young dogs from football to basketball, we handle business, you know. And a lot of them I'm realizing they craving to come talk to me, not about sports, not about the little pretty girl in the music video. It's about, so what is we? We ain't black. That's slave term. We ain't got no rights. We Moors. And my nephew, he actually one of the biggest superstars in the country right now, his age. He just turned 13, 215, and he's 6'3". Super athlete. Like he on the route of being the next Magic Johnson or LeBron James type stuff. So so when you say don't turn down the energy, my whole city, they damn near got a problem with everybody I'm affiliated with when it comes to sports. But we make them lay down because we're so successful and we're so sincere in our intent when we cultivating these kids. So we also teaching them, yo, it's okay to be you, yo. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with you sagging your pants, but nigga, if that's you and that's your alter ego, well, make you look good then. You know what I'm saying? At least make sure it hang off your shoes correctly. You'll grow out of that and mature. I don't want to mandate nothing on you because God and our ancestors ain't mandating nothing on us, and they got the power too in so many ways. So I'm teaching them something. In my first 2 years of sports, anybody knew we got our ass kicked every game for dinner, 2 years straight. But one thing I did, I gave all the kids who basically was underprivileged a chance to say, hey man, least I could do, I'm helping rob y'all parents of energy is give back to their kids. You know what I'm saying? And anybody who know anything comprehend when I just said that, and nothing I'm proud of, but it was my life for a long time. So I give back to the kids everywhere I can to counter my own karma, you know, because it makes me happy anyway, because they the purest. So when I say, Professor, again, when you say don't let them turn down your energy, we walk in gymnasium, we walk in football fields, it's contagious. And we've been doing this for 8 serious years, to the point where I'm so confident we got several little dudes who bounce to high heights in their careers as athletes. And one thing I do, I'm instilling in them is know who you are. That's cool, you make it. But if you don't make it and know who you are, you do want us to discuss it. The ship is turning around, like Empress said, and y'all gonna have to run with it. y'all, you know, it's to the point now where I don't coach, but I still train several of the kids I helped build from the mud. And every now and again I coach because they just beg me like, coach, come coach. We miss your energy. And so make a long story short, I'm sorry because I normally don't talk too much because I'm still in my learning stages. I like to listen. The spirit is on me right now. So I come to a high school game. Some of my babies, they made it to high school. And they doing very great. And so they play their game. They play the JV. They play the freshmen. You know, and they win their games. So they go sit in the crowd. And this Caucasian woman, she's the athletic director. Another poisonous position amongst us, you know. And she tell my babies to quiet down at a football game, and we outside. Anybody who know these kids or unbalanced environments know these kids are so disrespectful. They don't fear nothing. They don't care for nothing. You know, it's just hard to really get respect from them. So, my babies, they ain't like that. You know, they got their moment. If they don't love you, you know they don't love you. But when they around elders, they respect you. So they in a group of themselves. They like 30 deep. We at the game, outside, football game. And this Caucasian woman, well, this Albion, you know, she comes and tell my babies to quiet down outside. Because across the field, I guess our energy was too intimidating or wearing off on the other Albions over there. So they don't know me. I got a couple coaches in the school because my name is kind of dirty around here as far as me getting respect. So I ain't been in no rush to get in no high school, and I got several offers, but the ancestors like, it ain't your time and wait, you know. So I had to introduce myself to this woman, and I tell her, I said, excuse me, did you just tell my babies to quiet down outside at a football game and they're not harming or disrespecting anyone? She said, well, yeah, I just wanted them to be more in line or more professional.
Professional? At a game?
A football game, Empress? This is what this woman say. So I cussed her without cussing her because I still want them to know how to address the situation respectable and still get the point across. So I tell her, okay, I said, you know, let me introduce myself. I said, I'm Brother Amatai. I'm responsible for this wave coming here these last few years. I said, every year y'all enrollment go up 50 to 100 kids. I said, y'all school is on the verge of shutting down. And if you want this wave still, I think you should really be mindful of how you come at my bankers. We outside. I think you totally out of line, and I think you owe him an apology. So I said, I know the principal. Me and the principal, we real close. He like an older uncle. So I tell her, I said, so moving forward, hopefully we don't have this situation any longer, you know. So she told these people I cussed her out. I called her all type of names, the typical shit, because her feelings hurt. Because I just checked her in a way that she had the feeling and respect. And she used to seeing brothers being submissive. You know,
Right.
I don't submit to no woman besides Mother God and my Empress and my mother at times. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, nah, you got the wrong one here. And my baby's just looking at me. When I turned around and looked at them, they just gave me the nod like, yeah, coach. Yeah, check that bitch. Fuck her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, this the energy I gotta give them. I can never let nobody dumb down our spirit because they've been
They try to, what they try to do with my son repeatedly. This about the fourth time they done harassed him, knowing that they cannot approach with our insignia on the car. We're not your property. It's already identified who we are. Excuse me. They try to break the spirit of the child. That's their intent. But if they're deeply rooted, they won't be able to.
I think there's a possibility that they're clones. So I
Yeah,
want people to be aware of that. There's a
they're not
possibility
really.
they're making clones. They're not really, they're clones. So you're not really dealing with another human. That is the first thing you must remember. We are melanated. So we resonate at a very high frequency without even knowing sciences. We resonate at a very high frequency. That's what it's all about. That's what everyone is after. That's why everybody tries to control a sector with a dark melanated aboriginals, because we are the wealth of the land. It is a strong connection between your melanin and the minerals, the gold, the diamonds, and all of the stuff in the ground. There's a connection between that. I can't even go into the details, but understand that. That's why these albions gravitate to your area, and they try to see if they can assimilate. And if once you allow them to assimilate, now we're going to see if we can start to conquer. And we're going to see how passive they are. Once we see they're passive, now we're going to just systematically just separate them and tear them apart and subjugate them. And this is what now when you know who you are, the first thing you got to understand is you have to speak with authority of your melanin. And that's what I tell people all the time. And the first thing that goes through my mind when I see the cops, they don't even know as an L. An L, and one who is adept at the manipulation of the forces. You touch this melanin, and I'm telling you, you'll be dead in 24 hours. 24 hours. That's the law. That's the law. I'm an L, short for Elohim. Elohim, earth, wind, fire, water. All the elements, all of that makes up Elohim. So once you learn how to manipulate those forces, you then make the laws. Remember, you're an L. So if you're an L, master the laws, then manipulate the laws. But you cannot manipulate laws until you first learn the laws. You have to master the laws. I mean, it's a lot, but there's things, there's methodologies and books and stuff on it. But my whole point is, you must be able to execute your power it's more than just you standing there. Remember, everything is working through your melanin. The ancestors are working through your melanin. It's a scientific expression, but the ancestors working through your melanin, and you really have total control of all in your consciousness. That's what they're looking for you to exert right there. They're looking for you to exert that overall power. That's why, like the brother said, they can't look you in your eyes, because the power of the ancestors is looking right through you, and that is too much energy. That is power.
And they into sorcery too, so they know what it is to look into someone's eyes that is dominant, is superior to you. You're going to get zapped. So they don't want to do that. They smart enough to know better.
So, Professor, at the end of the day, what you're telling to us and what I'm comprehending is tame what we created, or they will create more shit in our lives.
Yeah, you see their whole process. You see, when they migrate to this land, or when they I like to say, dumped their prison shit in the 1600s, they first came observing. Look at the movie Gangs in New York. They first came observing, and they know we was all around here. We was all around, so we ain't mess with them. They ain't mess with us. But remember, after the prisoners, a lot of them finished their indentured servitude time, a lot of the women start mixing in the community, just like they're mixing the snow bunnies in the community today. And people don't understand, there's a reason for that taking place. Once again, they are making another attempt to lower the level of energy amongst these young gods, because that young white female is low level energy. And the minute you consummate with her, the minute that orgasm takes place, you have just lowered your energy to her level. And at the same time, you've mixed your melanated godlike energy with her, giving her your energy. And process that they do it perfectly. Yeah, they do it perfectly. Sorry, Empress, but that's the process that they put us to sleep with in the 1600s. And if you notice, take a look around you in your current communities, there's a lot of the white snow bunnies being dropped there, because they know the new wave of young gods is coming.
They chase athletes, the mothers and families. They put them girls on these boys early. And I've been telling my son this for years. My husband is in West Africa, and he went to see a spirit doctor, and he consulted with him about, our life and things going on. And the man told him, once again, another confirmation, that my enemies, the names that I gave him, and the man could see who my enemies were. He said, they're not real people. He said, anyway, just give this charity, do this, do this. They have been a hindrance, but they will not be able to sustain much longer. Anyway, they're not real people. The names I gave them was the Rothschilds. The names I gave them, Queen of England, her son, these fake Jews in Israel. Who are these people? See, you got to read Malachi Z. York books and Zachariah Sitchin and all of those type of authors to understand what they mean by not real people. This is why they have to snatch up Aborigines from off of this land, all these women missing, because that's their lifeblood, their energy source, because they die at rapid rates. And they're not real people, so they have to consume our blood, our energy, to stay on the planet and to even stay in control.
I want to share one point, Empress. When you stress they're not real people, just think of how the rest of the world looks at us as gods of this area being run by people who are not even human. Just think about that for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Gods, melanated. Yeah. The oldest people on the planet, literally allowing people who are not human to run us. And then people want to say why Gandhi said he hates black people. Because for what they did there, we didn't assume the same position. So we allow people who are not even real to run us. And even my son, who's in the military, my old boy, he says to me when he comes home, he says, the Arabs ask me, why are you doing this? They ask him that all the time, and that's when I sat down and started breaking down the heritage to him. And he's like, oh, and he's my stepson, his father, he's from Jamaica. So, and he's from the Rasta root. So now he was like, and his eyes was like, he finally understood now why they keep asking him, because they put him in Guantanamo Bay where, you got to guard the prisoners. And he said some of the Arabs was asking him, they keep asking him every day, why are you doing this? Why are you helping them? That's what they keep asking him. It reminds me of what you asked the Asian guy. Why are you helping?
Yeah, absolutely. But they put him in the best place possible. They probably know he's connected to you. He's at Guantanamo Bay. Did you hear that? Guantanamo Bay represents us. They have to represent us now. They're cleaning the swamp through Guantanamo Bay. Anybody that's there, they need to be there.
Wow, can you imagine that, man? Wow, they're sticking all the leaders in there.
And that's why we building prisons too. These people make it a game. I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, I'm going to enjoy my position, man, as the head of the Moorish Prison Administration. I'm going to create some time.
It's time. It's definitely time, because we have to bring back forth the knowledge, the power, the authority of our courts. We had multiple courts on the land that represented, and it's still tribal courts and things like that, but they're just not well known and not very advertised. But we have to bring these staples back to our land if we are the children and the heirs to the land. We have to start administrating the vast estate, and we have to start holding them accountable for wrongdoings on our land. And then we have to have a place to house them. So all of these things are inevitable. It's coming together, and allies are showing up, supporters are showing up, partners are showing up. It's like all I had to ever do is just keep walking in who I was supposed to be, and everything is just coming together. So that's why I encourage everyone, if you have a drive and a burning in your heart, you compelled to do something, you don't know why, you just need to do it. You don't have to have all the answers right then and there, but you have to keep going. You have to keep moving because we forgot what we came here for. But your inner self, your higher knowing, your Ori, your spirit man knows why you're here. So you have to follow those gumptions, that gut feeling, that intuition, because it's going to lead you down the path that you should be in, that you should be going in. And that's where all your blessings are. It feels uncomfortable sometimes, but that's because we so used to being told what to do instead of following the self, following your intuition.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Intuition is
why
the
they
key, Empress.
instituted Ashe. That's why they instituted schools, so they could get you used to taking orders. You never took no orders. That's what I told my son. I told him, do you think it's a coincidence that you don't like nobody telling you what to do? He just don't like to be told what to do. You know, he's independent, entrepreneur, just like myself. And I told him, I never liked nobody telling me what to do. Now I know why. That's in your family line. That's in your DNA. You held a high position at some point in these various lifespans that we've been here. Our ancestors did also. We was the ruling powers on the land. We held businesses. We were the ones to initiate the first law. Different things that's in my family line. And that's why I had to tell him that's not nothing new. You have to understand who you are. Why do you feel this way? Why do you want to do this? Why do you have these different ambitions? That is something that's inherent in you. So, and he is one of those young men, nigga. That's his favorite word. Nigga. So, yeah, I mean, he even tell me, nigga. Do you know this nigga? It's like a term of endearment. So, but I taught him early what these terms mean, what they, and at home, I'm just mama. Everybody wants me to just be mama and wife and nothing else. Like, they don't want to hear about all this Empress stuff. My daughter told me, can you just do half of this Empress stuff and half for us? At some point, you need to pay us some attention. I said, this is who I am. This is your family line. But it's interesting how the things that the youth, what comes out of their mouth, right? He don't even know. He told me one day, he said, I don't even know why I say that so much. Like, I don't know. He said, it's just comfortable. I just feel comfortable saying that. I said, well, you can't say it to me all the time, but I understand where it comes from. These are terms of nobility, titles of nobility that are ancient. And we have to realize that as much as they tried to get rid of this word, the N word, this word, that word, the youth, even if he never heard me talk like that. He never heard, we didn't grow up like that. Where is it coming from? It's coming from within. Nigga, niggas, negas. So the youth is going to perpetuate everything that comes natural to them. It's not rehearsed, it's not taught. That is a term of endearment, a title of nobility that our ancestors used, that they, so-called colonialism, made it bad. Kings, royalty was called nigga, negas. So who am I to tell him he can't say that? The only thing I can do is teach him and continue to teach him this is where it came from. This is why you saying this. This is why it's so comfortable for you to say it. Because you are royalty. We are royalty. Our Asiatic descent makes us royalty. So, all a matter of knowledge and bringing them up to speed with their culture. This is already their culture. You can't change them. So you just have to let them know what it is and why it is. Ashe.
I see.
Any questions, comments, concerns?
Yes, Empress. Do you know anything about this I-10 number that you can apply for at the Social Security Administration? Foreign passport. That's what I kind of like waiting on.
You said, what about a passport?
They say you need a foreign passport. That's what I'm waiting.
Who said you need a foreign passport?
Well, I was reading online about the
Why do you need a foreign passport?
I-10 to get an I-10 number.
The I-10, I-T-I-N?
Yes.
That's an international tax ID number.
Okay.
Why do you want an I-10 number?
Not use the social.
Just get an EIN. Talk to Noble Tariq.
Well, I got done.
Pardon?
I have a
Yeah.
number.
Tariq got a job using an EIN number. And now they want to hire him in the back office. Because he taught them how to do some things. Like, oh, you know. So, I mean, it's nothing. Just do an EIN for years. If you want to do business, you doing commerce. Remember, if you want to do commerce, just get you a new EIN number. Do commerce with that number.
But
It's not.
they're asking
You don't have to use a Social Security number. That's supposed to be private.
They're asking for, before they give you the EIN number, they're asking for which Social Security number. They want a Social Security number attached to that. Whose Social Security number is asking for this? That's what they did to me when I tried to put a new EIN number on my new registered name.
It's still another entity.
Say that again?
So it doesn't matter. It's still another entity. That's a whole nother entity, a whole nother number. They follow numbers. That's it.
Dash is out of your Social Security. It's an EIN number.
Oh,
Well, I ain't never heard that.
Check it out.
Because the EINs are 2 digits, then space, then the numbers. So
Right.
it is a dash in there.
No dash. Once you take the dashes out of your regular Social Security number,
Okay.
it can be an EIN number.
Okay.
I mean,
Shay, don't quote
Check
me
it out.
on it.
Yeah. And someone told me you can get more than one Social Security number from the security
Yeah.
agency.
I think you can get up to 5, something like that.
Something
5
like that.
different numbers?
5 cards,
Yep.
new numbers.
Because I've been trying to get a new number for my EIN number for my new name. I'm presenting my name as a business, I think, something like that.
Yeah, you can do that.
Well, do the CPN numbers and all that.
They shouldn't give you no problems.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
keep asking, who's the Social Security number asking for this EIN number? That's what they keep asking.
You know what? I had to come out of that shell. If you want to get it, if you want to do business with them, you got to give them something. You got to, as long as you learn how to master your affairs in commerce and master your affairs privately. That's what the course is about that I just put out, the private remedies course. Since everybody want to keep jumping back and forth, I figure I better teach them how to do it. Even though I don't agree with that, because I'm just so far advanced that I have done, I'm not going to say I haven't, because I have, and I still have things in place that I put in place years ago. Okay. But I'm not an advocate for that anymore, because you see it falling and crumbling right before our eyes. There's no more 501c3. The Vatican has clearly said, the Pope has clearly said, there's no more municipalities. These things are falling right before our eyes, but we just don't want to let it go. Like, I don't know.
They just holding on to jobs.
Huh?
They just holding on to their jobs right now. That's it. It's like a
Basically.
routine. They're holding on to their jobs as long as they got the
Until
job.
our army come and put their asses off. And that's it. Or they army or the orders that I just gave, go ahead and finally get facilitated. We will see what happens. It's been real quiet, and I know the last time I put in those orders like that, the provost marshal did come. They did show their face, gave me the nod on several different occasions, and so I know they're listening. And I checked spiritually; they work for us. All we have to do is give them orders. All I have to do is give them orders. I have already established who I am to them, so we'll see what happens.
You write the orders, Empress. You write the orders. I'll carry out the decree.
Ashe, done.
I said,
I checked it out. It's some good information you get in there.
Huh?
All the parcel numbers and everything you get in that non-UCC. I was like, wow. You didn't
And what not? I didn't write no non-UCC.
It's on your website.
That's not a non-UCC. That non-UCC wasn't even in existence when I wrote that. I don't even understand that non-UCC. I think it's a trick because the power, if you're going to do a commercial process, the power is in the UCC statement. That's under commercial law. If you the commercial law is non-UCC. I don't understand. Why is that everybody so attracted to that? I just see things a different way. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. So, to each his own.
you ever consider designing a with all that knowledge? Because I know in terms of from the basics to, let's say, like a Morris University, because I think that information should be taught on levels. I mean, the school that we're going to design is basically going to have the basics in there for the kids, but I mean, in terms of the depth of knowledge that you have, I think it should be on, I would say, like maybe like on a bachelor's degree level. It's like a set it up as
Yeah, it definitely has to be taught in steps. I'm just basically putting everything I can in books, and I have my latest project that I've done is the private remedies, liens, and trusts, Minty Elbay's secrets they don't want you to know about. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop that real quick because I was working on the video, so y'all can see that tonight. But everything else, I just have to lead by example because a lot of stuff I just, like I said, move out with intuition. It's no script for me. I don't read a lot of books. I'm just too busy listening to the ancestors. I didn't even sleep the whole year.
That's the point I wanted to make. I forgot. That's the point I wanted to make. I forgot. What's the brother name that was talking earlier?
Amatai.
Yeah, Amatai spoke on it as well. You mentioned it as well. It is very important, and I want everybody to listen for a second. As you are understanding working with the ancestors, Amatai touched on it, the Empress touched on it, and I am going to drive the point home. Please listen to this. It is important that you understand that the ancestors know you as an individual. Please understand that. They know every single ounce of you. There's nothing to hide. There's nothing to hide when you call on them. There's nothing to hide. That's how naked you have to be and trusting when you call on them. It's like you're naked and you're exposed. So when you call on them like that, trust me, they know everything, the weakness of you, they know the weakness of the enemy is standing in front of you. But you should never forget, they know the weakness of the person standing in front of you. Okay. You don't have to know it. So when you call on the ancestors, be yourself.
Shay.
That is so important because they know you. They are very aware of the situation that's going on. Like the emperor says, they might want you to get tested a little to toughen you up a little bit. But you know what I always say? I always say, you know, my ancestors is right there, and I know my ancestors could drop them at any time. So even when it comes to things like, oh, we gonna lock you up, you know, I just spend a little time in the belly of the beast. I'm not no spring chicken on that, man. It's like, yo, that's like grade school to me. But anyway, my point is this: if you are faced with that, it is crucial that you look them right in their eyes after you call on their ancestors and tell them, and I know that you probably have heard this in a lot of sacred scripts over the years. Look them right in the eyes and tell them, your jail can't hold me. Don't even worry about whether or not, you know, the wall's gonna fall or the door's gonna open.
I had a brother, the sheriff told me he was locked up one time, and do you know, he did a chant, a prayer ritual, and said abracadabra, and the door popped open.
Mm-hmm. They frighten you when you do stuff like that.
But that's your ancestors. It's ancestral magic. And there's certain keys to unlock things that's in the Bible. It's certain ones, it's certain people. The real keys are in, you know, the books like Hiram Abiff, you know, the high up masonry books, the ones they really stole that had the teachings and instructions in them. And they would give you the lessons on different rituals that can unlock things and, you know, give you what appears to be magic. These things is what they stole from us. And so as we develop in our higher consciousness, getting back to self, we begin to learn these things again and remember these things again without the books. So right now they're very afraid and they're very scared because we are divinely connected and we're getting these answers anyway. So they can't hide nothing from us no more. It's all coming out. Ashe. Okay, guys. Peace and love. Was that all you had to give us, Professor L?
Oh yeah, I just want to make sure they stress me. They understand to be themselves. The ancestors is you. They know you, and they're operating through you.
You are the deity. You are the deity.
You're the first
on earth.
Right. So you're the force. You're the force that they're working through. So if that happens and the cops accost you, try to just remain calm. But be stern with them, looking them right in their eyes, but remain calm at the same time because your ancestors is taking care of the work. And never worry about how you're going to get out of the situation. Just look them right in their eyes and tell them, especially if they cuff you, just look the officer right in his eyes and say, yo, your jail can't hold me. I'm telling you right now, your jail can't hold me. And while you are saying that, the gods has already set up the situation that's going to get you out of there. You must
and I got plenty of stories about that. I'm gonna do a video with one of my brothers from Detroit, the different events and stories over the years that we have overcome and how, you know, we have shut them down. I have my personal stories. He has his personal stories. I've had him on the stand so many times. It was an officer that arrested me. The bail bondsman had already had me. An officer came on the scene, me out of the car of the bail bondsman and re-arrested me. And I was in the car giving him the business. And he was saying, well, I guess you're smarter than me. We'll see about that when we get to court. When we got to court, that fool was beat red on that stand, and I tore his butt up from the Rudy to the Tootie. And that doggone judge, he was like, Miss Elbay, you can go. And he looked at that officer on that stand. He said, you sit right there. And he let me go. And I know he gave him the business. He probably told him, don't you know if that lady would have pressed charges, I would have had to lock you up. I don't know what he told him after I left, but I was assuming he got in his rear end pretty good. But these are some of the things that, you know, the youth coming behind us need to know. They don't have fear of these things if they happen. You have to just handle them. But you have to be prepared on how to handle them. So that's what I'm trying to help y'all get through. Ashe?
Sure. Empress, about the lien,
Yes.
do we have to email you that about that, or do we just get on your website? 'Cause I don't see it on your website.
What's that?
But the lien, like leaning houses up and
Leaning houses up, huh? You sound like the counselor court.
this is my land. This is my land.
Leaning houses up.
Yeah.
You got the book yet, brother?
Now I want to get the book.
Yeah, I have The Myth Behind Foreclosure. And if you let me get off this call, I'm going to premiere my latest 3-part book series, audio, visual training book on remedies, liens, and trusts. Ashe?
Ashe.
Ashe.
I'll see that photo as well soon.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
All right. Peace and love, family.
Peace and love.
Peace and
I'll
love.
contact you probably tomorrow, Empress. I need like 15 minutes of your time.
All right. Peace and
Okay.
love.
All right, peace and love.
Peace and love.
Peace to the gods, goddesses. Peace to the elves.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace to the gods and goddesses, elves and bays and days and alis. Ashe.
Days and Ali.
Ashe.
Fezzes, and turbans. And this is
It was crucial. Go back. I'm going to record you. Start
I'm
from
telling
the beginning.
true that as imperial Moors, that they understand the importance of donning the garb. You see, the garb demonstrates that you are fully letting the world know that America is no longer free. You are back in charge, and this land is your land. The garb lets them know this. That's why every time people see me, they say, "What religion are you?" And I tell them, I'm not any religion. I am all of that. I am the dirt, the soil, the tree, and everything that you see, smell, breathe, and feel in this area here in North and South America. And they say, oh. I say, I am the Moor. They say, oh, what's that? And then I go down to breaking down the heritage to them. But you see, when you don the garb, it raises a certain spiritual frequency vibration around you. So when people look at you, now they're going to be looking at the heritage. You don't have to say, then most people are going to start asking you what religion you are as soon as you put it on. Another point I want to make is this. There are a lot of brothers not wearing their fezzes. This is what I want to let you know as an Imperial Moor. Demonstrate, don the garb. There's a lot of brothers not wearing their fez, and they walk up to me when I move to a new area, and they'll start looking sideways. That's how I'm reading. They don't know I'm reading. They're looking sideways. You know where there's a temple around here? Oh my God. I wouldn't even want to tell them you're looking at one, fool. But I don't say it. I'm just looking, I'm like, and I know where the temple is. I said it's around the corner there. They want to know why am I wearing a fez, but I'm not going to the temple. As if I really need to be going to the temple. I'm going to start walking around with a brick. As soon as the one of them asks me that, here you go. Because you need brick and mortar to really understand who you are. As if I need that. They don't understand the essence of a Moor is the essence of who you are on this soil right here. You blend in with the trees. Everything is now yours. And you must now take back the law. You see who you are, walking, breathing, living, exercising thought and consciousness. It is all the law. So now you as the Moor now, wherever you go, you are the law. But they're not going to honor this if you're not wearing the garb. If you walk around football shirts on, I don't knock that because, I don't wear that. But if you're walking around with that on, they just see you as the regular Tom. They're not getting no vibration. They don't even notice you. And they still will stand next to you and say, America's a free country. No, it's not free. It's yours now. And now it's time for us to start taking it back. But it begins with the expression of self. Let them know who you are. You don't even have to open my mouth. When I'm walking around people, they automatically know I'm the law. I don't even have to say anything. I don't have to say anything. Even the cops, they look down when they get around me. That's how much power I radiate around them, the authority. I don't have to say a word. I don't have to say a word. The garb tells them everything they need to know. Who am I? I am America. I am Amorica. You're standing on my soil. All this is mine. Who are you? So that's the point I want to make, that it's important to don the garb. You know, so if you can even just get a fez, you know, don't have to go out and buy a whole bunch of, you know, it's going to come to you. You know, the minute you put the fez on or the turban on, you're going to notice a change. It's going to just, you're going to feel a certain vibrational frequency just shoot down through your body the minute you put that fez on or that turban on and walk out that door. Everything changes, I'm telling you. You'll see. Okay, that's my part right there. Empress, you have the floor again.
Ashe, thank you so much. Professor L, you have displayed once again your passion for what we are doing, and we
walk the step.